Happy hour, banner bar. Let's do it. So this week, got 3 brews by 2 different breweries. I've been drinking, so I may have messed that up. 3 St. Arnold beers, 3 Rahr and Sons beers. I don't remember what they are. We're just going to try them and answer some questions. Codes is here. He's going to help us along. By which I mean he's going to rate the shit you can't because you're at home. Joke's on you. Let's start down here. Sound good? All right, I'll let you read the questions. First up is St. Arnold's Headliner, which is a blonde ale.
The question is, what do you usually wear to bed?
Feels like an oddly intimate question. Our first time sitting down at the table alone together.
These are totally random questions, right?
They are. I still feel like I should know the answer. I have lived with you, after all. There's not much smell there. It's light, kind of lemony or limey.
Okay. It's just a blonde ale.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder I like it.
Nothing wrong with some basic beers, right?
Mm-hmm. It's very easy to manage.
That one's good. I'm scared of this one because the last St. Arnold we had actually tasted like fucking grass. Like freshly cut grass. So this is...
If you're scared of it, this whole show's fucked, dude. If you're scared of it...
Scared might be a little hyperbolic.
Okay, well... I need you to talk me down off the ledge.
You're all right. I promise. Nothing crazy here tonight.
I dig it. I like it. I mean, it tastes just like a beer.
Yeah.
It tastes very beery.
Same. I'm right there. Beery.
Yeah.
It's a little malty. So maybe a little heavier than just your normal, like, corner store Keystone or whatnot. The aftertaste is almost nothing.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Very manageable.
And this kind of beer, yeah, you could drink the shit out of it all night long and not be offended. Not by the beer, at least. I actually want to go with a 7 on that one.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
It's a
pretty great beer.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah, it's a little bit better than good. So yeah,
that's what I mean. Surprisingly, it's AKA great.
Yeah, it's a very good numbering scheme you got there.
Can you hear the desperation in my voice trying to cling to youth, AKA instead of just saying also known as, or maybe otherwise, whatever. So what do you usually wear to bed, Coats?
I wear a polo to work every day, so I wear a white t-shirt, undershirt. So when I get home, I take the polo off, I take the pants off, and I rock the white t-shirt and boxers.
Socks or no socks? This is important.
It depends. In the colder months, I find myself keeping the socks on, but I'm fat and hairy, so the socks are usually off because it's just more insulation that I don't need.
Same. Pretty much the same. But I'll sleep in whatever t-shirt I've got on. Yeah.
Now, do you ever catch yourself, like, I have a select amount of t-shirts that I really dig, and sometimes I'll go to bed in them, and I'll go, like on the weekend, like during the week it's a white t-shirt, but on the weekend, like if I'm wearing like one of my shirts I actually like, I'm like, don't stretch this thing out in your sleep, fat ass. Like, you know.
Or it might get fuzzy depending on what you're sleeping with in the bed, you know, like.
I do take that into consideration.
Lucky nights, you might get a stain on it of some sort, but yeah, I do think about those sorts of things. I would love to sleep naked, but I too am fat. But I am genuinely fat. I don't know what he's tripping on. I don't know where that comes from. Anyway, our next beer is Ye Olde Christmas Ale, which it says it's rich and cheerful. It's also St. Arnold. In case anyone was confused, 3 St. Arnold beers. I slurred that like a motherfucker.
Okay. This question is, if you were an aquatic creature, which body of water would you want to live in? If you were an aquatic creature, which body of water would you want to live in? Are we talking like ponds, rivers, lakes, oceans?
A body of water.
I guess
Whatever
that
you
is the
consider to be a
definition of
body of water. I don't. Sorry if I answered that kind of snippy. I was prepared to ask whether or not you would believe that I no longer smoke pot. This is Sober Brain. It just smells like a Bach. Not a lot of spice to it. It's lightly spiced. Something, but it's barely there.
Yeah, it just tasted like that whole category, the whole Shiner thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just tastes like one of those.
Kind of malty, so it's got that crisp sugar thing in the mouth.
But I do smell something a little bit extra as far as
You're picking something up?
Yeah. Unless that's just my upper lip.
Possibility.
But it tastes just like a Bach.
Not bad. I don't think it's quite as good as Shiner, but it's right there, you know. I dig the malt note to it. It at least lets me separate it in my head.
So what's supposed to make it Christmassy?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe the idea is you don't have to have some goofy, spiced, crazy type beer. Memory serves, they never write anything on their cans or bottles. It's Texas' oldest craft brewery.
Really?
So I would guess they do things simpler, a little more predictable. You need beer. Here's beer.
Is this a big name in the game, St. Arnold?
I see them a lot. I've never enjoyed their beers so much that they stand out as something I need to go get. That's pretty good. The one before it was better than good. 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. It's a little bit better than decent. Like I could pick it out at a store, I guess, if I was not trying to go the weak route with just an ale or a lager type of thing.
Yeah, the beer police aren't going to arrest you if you give that one a 5, but 6, I think, is a little more solid, right?
Yeah, I can get behind that.
So if you lived in the water, which body of water?
I almost feel like this is a philosophical question. Like, I feel like I would be content being what is the saying, big fish in a small pond type of thing.
Okay.
So I'm leaning more towards like a small pond situation.
I'm a little psychological in this, so I find myself wondering, do I want the beauty associated with what's around the water, or do I want to know like hot chicks are getting in the water all the time, you know? So that's my conundrum. I don't want to be in the ocean.
You looked at your palm like you've got the cheat answers to your question.
I got a fucking cut on my hand. I don't know where it came from.
We're looking at the answers, man.
I wrote this down. Nothing there. I don't know. It would be a lake somewhere. Part of me wants to be in Idaho all the time anyway. They've got a lake up there. Peck area of Idaho. Peck, Idaho. I think is man-made because of a dam. I'd just be there. Just to be closer to family, you know? Fly up there for half of the year when you're having to live in the water or something stupid. I don't know.
Aquatic creatures get a lot of extra miles on their credit card or something.
Maybe. Everything is first class, you know? They just got the one fish tank, and there aren't too many of us going around anyway.
Yeah.
Lawnmower. No, excuse me. This is the fancy lawnmower from St. Arnold. It says it's a refreshing outdoor beer. Let's see.
Bringing the fire on these questions, dude.
Does that one suck too?
Was my tone indicative?
It's so random.
No. So the question is, where on your body would you choose to be shot?
Okay. So Philosophy 101, that's where we're at tonight. This one says on the side of the bottle that it's Kolsch style, which should mean malt, wheat, I think. It doesn't smell like grass. So I guess the fancy lawnmower kind of gets rid of some of that flavor profile.
I dig the can, so I guess that's St. Arnold. I thought that was like a Christmas vibe, but that's just fucking St. Arnold's the dude, so this is just St. Arnold with flamingos and shit. Because it's a lawnmower.
Year-round beard. That's what we know about St. Arnold. And he doesn't quit with the hat.
Oh, you got me scared for nothing.
No, I'm not mad at that either. That's...
Yeah,
you know?
that tastes like beer.
Yeah, that's powwow. You know, you're trying to make peace. Just fucking headliner or a lawnmower.
Actually, that's really not... That's not bad at all. It's a party beer. It's a fucking throwdown at a barbecue beer.
I think it's one of their more famous ones, and I'm going to hate myself later for this, but I have to know. If I can even tell. This one has a little more unique European type flavor. There's something lightly there. This is American feel-good, drink the shit out of it beer.
Yeah, that just goes, right? This beer just goes. No red lights.
Nope. I mean, 7 again? I would be tempted to say 6, and maybe 6 is more accurate, but I mean, having them side by side, they're both good.
I might lean more towards 8. Special in its special in its non-specialness.
Okay.
It's just so there.
Just banking on it being a good beer
It's
that you can lean on.
Consistent. Okay. Right? It works. You had me scared about that, and now I'm starting to dig that.
I don't remember if it was the lawnmower that we had the other time. Because I think they do have a lawnmower and a fancy lawnmower. I actually don't think it was lawnmower. I just remember whatever we were drinking, you can see it in a past
think of
episode.
It wasn't lawnmower at all.
We tasted something that tasted like fucking grass, like cut ass grass. So fancy lawnmower freaked me out. That's a good beer. That's a great beer.
That's a special beer to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where on your body would you choose to be shot?
Maybe like the side of my arm.
You do the easy way out and just graze the arm?
I'm not that hardcore. He'll be like, shoot me in the nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
I mean, would you be more willing to lose a digit as opposed to take the risk of taking one straight in the arm and hitting an artery or something?
I knew you would bring philosophical pain. So if it was artery in the mix, which digit?
I think I'd lose like my...
Can it be a toe?
Middle toe,
okay.
Yeah. Because who gives a fuck about that guy?
I think I'd lose the pinky faster. Pinky toe.
This will piggy went to market. This will piggy stay home. This will piggy... Fuck the roast beef piggy, dude. Ain't nobody give a fuck about the roast beef piggy, right? Is that the third one? Market, this little piggy stayed at home. Yeah.
You've been a parent too long, my dude.
Nobody cares about that roast beef piggy. That'd be my answer. Lose the roast beef piggy.
All right. I'm going to lose that last one just because he tends to irritate me in the shoes anyway. I mean, fucking shoot them both off if you want to, as long as you miss the artery in the arm.
Yeah. Give me the big one, because they say if you lose the big one, you fall over, right? Or something like that. There's something about the big toe that keeps you upright.
I'd never thought about that, but probably.
Or I could have just read that on.
I'm sure it affects your balance. You ever just start falling over and you have no idea why it's happening or what the fuck? You're just chilling or you're walking and you're like, what? Nothing like that? Your ankle ever just roll out of nowhere?
Yeah.
That sort of shit?
Well, my body will give out under this enormous weight.
What the fuck, man? Enormous weight. So we were 7-8 territory here with whatever. Now we're on to Rahr. This is Paleta de Mango. It's a mango chili beer with lime.
There's a lot of words in that, and usually that tends to be a little bit dangerous when you involve that many words.
I love the ice cream thing up top. That gives me hope because I love like Mexican ice cream candy things. What do we got?
So the question is, do you want future generations to face the same hardships you had to face? Okay.
This should be interesting.
Yeah.
It's a yes or no question.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me not to expound upon it?
No, I'm just saying, like, you could totally be a dick, as could I, and just say yes, no. Okay, well, there's that. We disagree. How about that?
Right.
Do you like mango?
There's a lot of smell. I like the mango. What's the taco place over here off University? The
Torchies. Okay.
Torchies has a jerk chicken, spicy jerk chicken taco that has chunks of mango on it. I like that.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not like, I couldn't just eat mango straight up.
See, I thought I was content here, and I thought I was in good company right now because you wanted to go back to like this basic level, and here you come talking about jerk chicken. I got pizza in the kitchen. It's not going to be as good as jerk fucking chicken.
you got some cheese pizza?
Damn, that shit sounds good.
It doesn't taste that bad, but this is the first one I've encountered that actually smells better than it tastes to me.
Okay. I was going to say it had a juice quality to it.
Yeah,
like
for
some
sure.
of the other ones, which, I mean, the amount of fruit that's in it, I don't get a lot of chili.
Mm-mm. Or lime, for that matter.
Mm-mm.
Well, no, maybe on the back end, a little bit of lime.
So if you sit on it, okay, chili is slowly hitting.
Yeah, the lime and the chili are at the end. The mango hits you up front.
Mango's just fucking powerful, you know? It's easy to drink for me. It feels like a high-quality beer. The light amount of chili there is kind of nice. I'm feeling better about it. That first sip was kind of...
And I'm the exact opposite. I enjoyed the first sip, and the more I drink it now, the more the chili is kind of hurting my guts a little bit.
Oh, okay. I forget. We got your Hot Ones experience live on camera.
And it's not that it's spicy. It's just kind of like disagreeing with what I got going on down there.
I see what you're saying.
What was your rating on that?
I was going to say, if you've ever had a beer which I'm talking to nobody here. Nobody's watching the show that's like, yeah, I've totally had a beer that had an actual chili pepper in it.
I totally feel you, dog.
It feels genuine. I like the fruit. Could I drink it all the time? No, but I like the combination of chili and mango. I do. It sells itself a little high.
I think this thing has a lot going on. A whole lot going on.
Yeah.
You catch the mango up front, and then you get that little bit of acidity from the lime, but that chili is a big factor on the back end, and I think that's too much going on for a beer for me.
Okay.
Maybe if it were incorporated into a mixed drink or something.
Right.
But just for drinking purposes of a beer, I don't know. That's a lot of stuff.
He's right, too. The spice is definitely starting to build the longer I sit on this. The thing is, you and I would go in different directions here. Because if I'm sitting around drinking something like this, I do want that Mexican candy, Mexican popsicle stuff to come through more. And I'm getting that after a while. So I already liked the beer. I would go all the way up to a 7 just because of the fact that the chili is kicking more and I like the mango flavor. It's a well-made beer, but I definitely get how the chili would put you off after a while.
I don't want to say that it's unpleasant, and it's definitely not forgettable. So I would say that it's a decent beer, but it's not a good beer in my book.
We struggle with 4s, by the way. I feel like 4 is that category where forgettable seems like the wrong term. Like,
right.
Just because it's unpleasant and not decent doesn't mean that it's...
Well, it depends, because if somebody runs across this guy that's just there and does his thing and is just there, it could very easily be forgettable. Oh, do you want future generations to face the same hardships you had to?
Do you want me to answer this first and make you feel better?
Yeah, let me hear what you got.
My answer would be no, because I don't face the same hardships that past generations have. At least as far as technological advancements and whatnot go, there are certain areas in society where things are getting harder for, future generations and whatnot. But no, I don't want to live with smallpox. I don't want to live with, like a lack of electrical lighting in the house. There's no YouTube 50 years ago. Do I want kids to have to struggle to earn YouTube throughout the course of... No, that's just me, though. Because someone punched me in the face, I don't think that everyone in the world should be punched in the face just to know.
I know this is a short show, but just a little side note. What do you think our generation's equivalent of walking to school uphill both ways in the snow.
One, I don't think they actually did that as
for
much
sure.
as they claim to.
Yeah.
But it's really just finance. Since the 70s, wages have been stagnant. So you're actually making less and less. It used to be that one income could...
There's no single family income.
You could own a house. You could own a boat. You could own a car. You could vacation. You could have a babysitter. The wife could stay home and raise the kids, or the other way around, if so be it, right? But you can't do that anymore. That's just not the reality. It's gotten the amount that like CEOs and shit make compared to the average worker has gotten so out of whack that that's what I think our equivalent is. And the sad thing is that's just a worsening problem. So it's not like we can tell our kids, like, hey, when I was your age, I had to walk both ways in the snow, because they're going to be like, yeah, well, fuck you. I walk in a blizzard 800 days of the year, and there's only 364 days of the year.
I think that was a very introspective answer. I was thinking more along the lines of like a 28.8 modem or something.
Oh, okay. Like the dial-up shit. Those days did suck.
Yeah, imagine having to wait for, a picture line by line 5 minutes to get one thumbnail or, one JPEG.
Yep. My sister wants to use the phone, so I can't listen to music clips on Amazon to see what CD I want to buy.
Right.
When I have money in 3 weeks at the music store. That shit's not real anymore.
Yeah. My answer is pretty much the same as yours.
Okay.
I can get behind that.
I thought maybe for a minute you would go contrarian, so I appreciate this. He's picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
On to the Texas Red, which is an American amber. So, if
just out of sheer ignorance, can you explain to me an amber?
That's what I was going to try to do. So they take grains, like the stuff that they mill flour into, like wheat. It's these little grains that they break open and use as oatmeal and stuff like that. Same sort of stuff is used to make a beer mash. They like boil all that stuff and create sugars but what they do beforehand is they might toast those grains. It's the same way they make bread. So if you get a light, normal bread that hasn't been bleached, it's this beer. Okay, it's just very light. So what they've done here is it's not black, so they didn't roast the shit out of the grains. They just did a little bit.
It's like toasted.
Yes. And it should mean that you're going to get like a medium mouthfeel body with like some coppery stuff. I'm saying those words again, Katie. Fuck you.
I did just watch that last episode where she said every time he says copper. I've seen a lot of coppers here recently.
Trust me, if you've been tasting them long enough, it's accurate. And I love my sister. She does a great job. That show was hilarious.
Wow. Okay. The question is, what would you do with the rest of your life if you were imprisoned with no chance of ever getting out?
Is this?
I mean, be imprisoned? Anyways. Okay.
Right? What choice do I have?
Yeah. Okay. I poured a lot.
So, Bach, right?
Uh-huh.
The difference here is there's not as much... You ever had a malt shake?
Yes.
Versus like a normal shake. So like when you bite into a Whopper,
yeah, the malted milk.
Taste of the inside.
Yeah.
It's what you get from grains that are milled a certain way. A red's going to have more of that than a Bach.
Oh, okay. What are some basic ambers, like run-of-the-mill ambers that I would know?
I don't know.
You're not very fucking informative, are you?
I think Ziegenbach is actually an amber, and that's pretty common. Toby, can you think of any ambers?
Dos Equis amber.
Okay.
Like a lot of them aren't popular. I think they're good beers, but they're not super popular.
I've had this type of beer before. I don't know.
Can't place it?
Yeah. I almost get almost like a Pabst type of thing.
Okay. And that may be the grains that they're using, like the part of the world that they come from. It's just like grapes. They're going to taste a little different here and there. I'm not mad at it.
No, I mean, this really isn't that bad of a lineup here.
Oh.
I was expecting far worse.
You drew well. You could have had all IPAs, but
yeah, let me hit that bad boy one more again.
yeah, it needs a little more thought, which is always a good thing. You know, it's probably not going to go below a 5 if you got to think about it a little. It's just easy to drink.
Yeah.
If you like the flavor profile on something like this, like if you see an amber and you don't really care for it, I think this one's pretty easy to drink. I think my cousin's over there wanting to jump in, like, I gotta taste this amber, y'all.
Yeah, I'd call that a good beer. That's a 6.
I'm gonna go up to 7. Something about it, I feel like I could drink that all night and just, I would be good.
Right.
It reminds me of, I'm gonna fuck this all up. What are the short beers that come in the little bottles?
The Jamaican beer, Red Stripe?
Red Stripe, thank you. That's what this kind of reminds me of.
Yeah. Or even what's the Soul?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the Mexican.
Yeah, the Red Soul.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, Soul.
That's a solid beer.
Yeah.
I can see why they sell that still. The rest of your life, if you were in prison with no chance of ever getting out. I feel like that sentence is way longer than it needs to be. Anyway.
I can tell you what I would want to do. I would want to be Morgan Freeman from Shawshank. I would want to be the guy that if you're in there for the rest of your life, you might as well get the connections, get the hookups, and be the fucking guy that can get you the shit. You know what I mean? You want a nudie poster, I'll get you a nudie poster. You want a rock hammer, I'll get you a rock hammer.
Is it my imagination just from knowing him and other things? Did he try to help people do good things in that movie, or was he just the guy?
I don't think he necessarily knew if he was on the side of good or bad. I think he was just helping people that he obviously, like, he helped Andy in that movie because he liked him.
Yeah.
Like, he'll still get you some stuff, but, like, he may not get you the top of the line shit. You know what I mean?
You want to facilitate goods to the people who you think are worthy.
Right.
Them, right.
Or he could just be a merchant that caters to the highest bidder.
Okay.
But that's probably what I would want to do. I'd want to be the guy that can get you some cigarettes or get you the connection on some butthole pleasures or something. You know what I mean? Just facilitate any need you have within the system, you know.
Butthole pleasures. There's your title. There's a part of me that wants to say work in the kitchen just because I like to cook. So problem is I think they're always going to have to cook the same shit. And there's a lot of politics that go on there. I think even more so than the library. So library is probably what I would lean to. I would want to help people improve their lives. So I'm going to meet other people that are going to get out of prison. I want to help them not come back, especially if I have to stay in that motherfucker. So we would probably meet up in prison and still be friends somehow.
Yeah.
You would just be a little less of a moral high ground type, you know?
Right. Like, what I do on the side may not necessarily reflect who I am personally. It's just a business thing, right? We can still kick it on the other tip, but, like, I do got to make my ends meet.
Exactly. Well, I can think of two scenarios in which I would be in prison for life. One is I'm wrongfully imprisoned, in which case, yes, I want to help people be better to change that system. Or two, I did some foul shit, in which case I want to do as much good as I can with the time I have left. Anyway, boring the shit out of everybody.
If I'm in prison for life, I fuck somebody got what they got coming.
I'd probably just hang myself. I'd be done. Lastly is our blonde, the Hellas Lager, which I'm pretty sure is a wheat.
Oh, it's a wheat? I was going to say, I'm pretty excited about this, but once you mentioned wheat, like, when I hear wheat, the first thing I think of is Blue Moon, and I fucking hate Blue Moon with a passion, dude.
It did not land the way I hoped it would when we tried it. The thing about this is it's a Texas brewery, but just like with Shiner, You get a lot of that European influence that is sometimes done right. And I think Rahr could probably pull it off. So Helles might be decent. And it says blonde, so I'm expecting less of that wheat bread kick you in the face shit. I kept waiting on one of these to just spill over, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, because you fucked me last time I was here.
You know what it might be? It wouldn't account for all 6, but some of those were brought back from a cabin trip. So they might have been jostled.
A little bit of jostling.
Yes.
The question is, what's some good advice you got from your father?
Oh, God.
What's funny is we don't have like the best track records as far as fathers go.
I think the difference is you continue to really, maybe not respect, but you loved your father.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if it may have gotten worse, or there had been a cutoff point, which I doubt, but I think you never got to that point. You never had the chance. Mine's still alive and kicking. He's been threatening to die for ages, and it's like I stopped caring a long time ago. So it's different, but maybe not the best parental influence for sure.
Yeah, I don't get any of that. What was that beer I mentioned before? Blue Moon. I don't get any of that vibe from it.
It smells somewhat like a weed. It smells more like a European beer to me. Think every time I say European beer, think Heineken.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I can fucks with this. Hell's Lager.
Okay. Well, that tastes way better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah. What are we looking at number-wise? I'm going to give it a 7. That's a pretty great beer. It's not as good as the special beer that I was messing with, but this is...
I'm doing it again.
This is pretty good. Oh my God, there's a snake in my boot.
Seriously. I wonder if it's connected to like a giant Woody doll.
That's pretty good.
Man.
Now you got me wanting to try this again.
That's tough because that reminds me a lot of like, it's got the American Grolsch vibe. You know what I mean? I don't even know if Grolsch is American, but I assume it is. This feels foreign and I like it. I'm going to an 8 with this one. I really like it.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find this at your local marketplace?
Yeah. This one I haven't seen much of. This one is pretty much out year round.
Yeah, I dig it.
They're known for their ugly pug, but a few of their brews have actually been, constantly there.
What's some good advice you got from your father?
Jesus Christ. My father spent a lot of his time asking me what I wanted for my birthday or for Christmas, It was a constant question like, hey, what can I get you that you want, And then no matter what I would say, he would joke about pocket pussy. Like that was a big deal. That was his shtick. You got that birthday coming up, I'm gonna get you some pocket pussy. Like, Dad, I'm in 3rd grade. I don't even know what pussy is. Come on. But the best advice sort of thing I got had to deal with drug usage. And it was just he would always say that I should stay at home. Like if I wanted to, try liquor or try some sort of drug or something, just let him know. And we would do it at home. We would be safe. We wouldn't go out and get crazy or anything like that. He's like, we could just take our shoes off and see what it's like. And I've never done a bunch of drugs, but I was scared to try pot. And when I did, there was nothing to it, man. It was just a good time. But yeah, I don't want to go out while I'm doing that. And the fact that I wasn't out and about when I tried it meant I didn't have a bad time. And so I think that's probably the best advice. What about you, man?
He didn't really give me a whole lot of advice as far as he kind of just let me, he's like, do what you got to do. But one thing he did try to reiterate is, and I wish I would have done it more, is he would just, I think my mom would call him. And, I was a real asshole when I was younger. And he would call me and just say, hey, quit giving your mom so much shit.
Okay.
And I wish I would have done that a little bit more, but I think that was some of the best. I don't know if it was advice, just guidance, like quit fucking with your mom type of thing. Like, don't be such a little asshole.
Did this happen all the time, or was this before or after she got shot?
This was after, yeah, because she got shot when I was in 5th grade. So this was like when I was in my teens, you know,
You
13,
were in 5th
14.
grade when that happened?
Yeah.
That had to be some traumatic shit.
Oh, it was a trip, brother. It was a trip.
I'm going to walk my answer back for just a second. I did actually get some good advice from my dad, and that was with regard to work ethic. And I think when he's in the best frame of mind, he does actually follow his own advice. He said that no matter how he felt, he would get up and work. And that's how you had to be to get ahead in life. You just get up and do it, because the hardest part was getting up and starting. And that's kept me going. So, yeah, that's all I got. I'm glad to know that your dad was looking out for your mom, at least.
Yeah, well, I think he was just tired of hearing from her, you know.
She'd call
this
him.
motherfucker keeps calling me, bitching about you. This was a good lineup. I really dug this. I dug this guy, and this guy. Well, even this guy a little bit.
A little bit. This just lacked.
Yeah, well, between these two. Yeah. This guy's fucking up, man. Like,
well, you didn't like the chili.
You had every chance, but I think I would still take this over this.
Okay. So there you go, St. Arnold. Sometimes you're pumping out beers that are not hitting the mark, and it's making you slightly forgettable.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, for another round of
The Banter Bar.
I'll just leave you a little sip in case you want to go back.
I appreciate the sip. I think I could drink quite a bit of this.
I just want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time.
On the Banter Bar.